years ago, my mom died, and well, okay, let's go back before that. Even, right, I've been the black sheep of the family for years. Part of it is I'm a highly sensitive individual. I little bit in tune, and somewhat astute, emotionally astute. I think that's the word. Anyways, I can hear tones in people's voices when they're talking. And in turn, I would know that they were saying something or feeling something other than what they were telling me. And when I would ask why, it would make the person uncomfortable because I was always one of those ones who, why? Do your homework. And how does that work? Well, why? How does it work? Why do you do that? Type thing. And a lot of people just don't want to go there. They just don't want to look inside as to their 50% internalized. Why did they trigger on this? Why are they having an emotional response to what this person has said or the way they're doing this or whatever? It's uncomfortable. It makes people uncomfortable. So in turn, they need to externalize that pain, right? They would, it's always they did this, them, why do, you people, it's always somebody else's fault that their hardships are, hey? So in turn, as I made people uncomfortable by asking them questions, they would externalize that pain back onto me, and I was the asshole. So I've always been kind of an asshole type thing. And in turn, my parents just did not have the emotional tools to deal with the earlier shit that they had accumulated inside their head. Your inherent programming. Because face it, we're born with an operating system that comes from our parents, our downline, upline, whatever. You know what I mean? And that's how your neural network works that way. Either the synapse is sparking and transferring, it's on or it's off. That's it. So we're pretty much like a computer, right? So the programs that we learn, the tools that we adopt to get through society, like how to learn how to do shit at school, or just interacting, how to smile, how to keep focus or whatever, to positive inference. I hear you saying this, is this correct? Like all those kind of tools that you pick up, those are programs, okay? And we're programmed by our family and society, our environment. I was a fringe dweller. I am a fringe dweller. I believe the learning, the process is the actual where everything is happening. The end result is moot. It's immaterial. There is no end result. There is no finish, for me. So I'm in process all the time, which drives a lot of people crazy. Like my wife, she's in need for completion. She likes to have things orderly, have things done, finished. And I don't care if they're ever finished, because that's not the process. That's not the point. It's the learning. It's the doing that I like, So I've always been a fringe dweller, and a lot of people need to know, what's down below. Like if you look at it, I always use an analogy of a bubble. Hey, expanding your bubble. So I'm on the outside of the bubble, way out here, and I troll around all over the freaking place, and it's my bubble. I'm comfortable anywhere in it. There's areas of the bubble that I don't like to go to, but if I need to, I sure as heck can. Like right now with this political freaking newspaper battle that I'm going through. Well, I'm a pretty easygoing guy, and I'm helpful. I'll help anybody who needs freaking help. But having said that, I'm also a hypocrite, because that's an area of my bubble too that I try not to go there, but if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't understand hypocrisy and how it feels and the ramifications of it, and I wouldn't know what's on the other side of that. You know what I mean? So there's areas of yourself that you don't have to go to. You can they're there, and you are that way or have the potential of being that way. It's everybody has the same thoughts. I mean, it's acting on the thoughts that you get into trouble, right? So, having said that, man, there's a big percentage of the population up here and down there now that I really have no use for. Really have no use for. And I'm waiting for natural selection to remove them. Yes. Oh, but I mean, it has to be grassroots. Hey, there has to be more people speaking up, and you know, geez, just do it. I mean, it's scary. I mean, like I'm always anxious. Hey, well, like I was in the news just the other day. Hey, if you go to our I'll put a link. Hey, anyways. I was anxious and I only had an hour or so to prepare for that, hour and a half, you know, sitting in my house coat when the TV station phones, eh? But frick, go for it. What the heck? I mean, like, I got some good feedback on Facebook only because I showed it. Other than that, if I hadn't shown it to anybody, nobody would have really commented. So what the heck? I mean, most people are struggling with their own shit. You know, everybody's fighting a battle. Man. Everybody is fighting their own freaking battle that is overwhelming for them. And they really don't have too much time or even noticing what you're doing, man. They really don't. So if it's really important to you, you have to speak up. Like if you want to change some things, you have to change some things. That's all there is to it, man. You know, if you want to do it, you have to do it. So there's a couple things up here in Canada that I friggin' want to change. So I'm going to do that. And in the meantime, in order to do that, I have to change. So it should be interesting. Yeah, it should be interesting. So I'll take you along for the ride. What the hell? And while we're doing that, well, I mean, you can change, but you don't have to change yourself. You know what I mean? Which is why I bring it back to the bubble again. So, in order to understand these individuals that I disagree with, I have to expand my consciousness, my bubble, my perception around them. Okay? I have to go past them in order to understand them, you know, so that I can not look down at them, but you know, absorb the thought, be that way in a sense too, without having to go there. Same thing like with the hypocrisy type thingy. Eh? Now, your bubble is different than your comfort zone. Okay, there's areas of my bubble that I'm far more comfortable in than the entire bubble. You know what I mean? So this is outside of my comfort zone. Okay, and this is outside of my bubble. I have to expand my bubble. You know, and there's a couple different ways of expanding your bubble. I mean, you can go in that area, you know, like which I'm going to, in a sense, I'm going to go into the political, you know, this battle area, hey, and I'm going to expand my comfort zone. I'm going to understand my enemy in a sense, you know. It's not really an enemy, you know. It's somebody that you don't agree with, that you don't understand. Okay, it's you have to listen to people that you don't agree with. You have to. Otherwise, you narrow your focus. You become narrow-minded. I mean, you don't know the whole freaking picture. So you have to freaking listen to the people that you don't agree with. Okay, so I don't agree with these people freaking tall. In fact, I am at the point now where I loathe them, but I have to associate with them and understand them and expand that area of the bubble. Okay. In turn, I can keep my other self, my toy, my other self, and slowly absorb this extra energy into my bubble and expand that way. Because, I mean, the farther I go out on this side that I don't like, the more I can enjoy this side. You know what I mean? Now, you don't want to like I said, your comfort zone. You don't want to move over onto this side of the bubble because you do have a bubble, and eventually we tend to center. We tend to go back into the center. Well, if you're over here in this side that you really like, the sense of enjoyment of it, the feeling that you got from being out here is now actually way past that, and it may not be attainable for you. So you'll never be happy. You know what I mean? You have to expand yourself over this other area back there that you didn't like. Okay? So which is what I'm doing. The other way of expanding over that way is to kind of concentrate on these areas and push them out, and in turn, by pushing them out, you can understand this level of over here without having to kind of go there, but you have to be able to understand it, able to go there, able to deal with that, able to, you have to be able to deal with those. It's like the bully in high school. There was one or two people that were, and they were all fucked up themselves, man. They were taught that way. They were taught to be that way. It was a response that they were, because they were fearing. That's why they did that shit, hey? And it really, all it took was you to stand up to them, and then they would find an easier mark to do it with, right? So, shit. It's a lesson we all have to do, and some people never did. Some people never could stand up to that freaking bully, eh? And most people don't care. Anyways, that's what the other thing is, the bigger your bubble gets, you realize that, man, there are all these little bubbles, that these people all have little bubbles, and they're all fucked up in this little bubble, and there's so much more to the freaking world. Holy shit. There's so much more to, it's like public speaking. It's like I said with that news thing. Yeah, I'm nervous, and I go through a couple or three t-shirts in the mornings, freaking out, but gotta cowboy up and do it. It's a stupid way of yes, no, that's all it is you just gotta do it. And then the more times you do it, the easier it becomes. That's it. That's all it is just do it. Just do it, because the answers are all in the process. That's the way I look at it. Because once you get out there and you've done it, well, okay, yeah, you did it. You didn't, you're still freaking out every time you have to do it, eh? So obviously, having done it isn't where the freaking out, you got to analyze the process, eh? So, and most people are too busy with the outcome or, scoring, and there is no real scoring. Because as soon as you quit, then you quit, and then the other side kind of wins, so you have to keep doing it anyways, right? Yeah. Once you know something, you can't pretend you don't know it. You can't just quit. Once the mind has expanded to encompass a new thought, a new realization, it can never shrink back to not knowing that, screws up a lot of people with when they finally become sort of notice the bigger picture. At that instant in a guy's life, hey, your mind expands to just, it's like, I don't know, dropping acid for the first time type thing, eh? Suddenly you're just, you're out there in the universe, and you realize that there is so much more to this little blue marble that we're on, and so much more to everybody, everything, the interconnectedness, and just, and then it's gone, and you'll never get back there again. Never get back to that realization, that moment of never. It's like your first high or whatever, never. First orgasm, never. It just ain't the freaking the same. Ain't the same, eh? But that's beyond the bubble, and that's the idea, is to expand yourself, to wink out, eh? One with the universe. Anyways, until that time comes, let's try building something, okay? And enough with the freaking yakking. Anyways, thanks, because I was really messed up today. Oh, you can see that air blowing by? I could see it on there, but my bifocals say I couldn't see it out here. It was really invisible. I could see it on the screen. That was funny. Anyways,